Hey everybody, and welcome back to the episode of The Verdict. We'll be discussing some of our favorite animated films for this episode, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Rashawn, your wonderful host today, and I'm joined by my semi-grateful co-hosts, Mo and Hugh. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm a bit grateful for this.
Yeah,
Lilo and Stitch.
I guess we're grateful to be in your presence.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, really. All bow to the almighty Rashawn.
Yeah, the wonderful host here. Yeah. Okay, I guess we're going to go with a comedic show here. All right, let's go ahead.
Powerful over there.
But to start off this episode with a bang, we decided to pick animated features, and so the movie that I picked is actually one of my favorites. A movie I chose was Shrek 2 that came out in 2004. The movie stars Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz. So let's watch that trailer real quick.
Shrek Fiona! Donkey! Look, here comes Sleeping Beauty! Oh!
I hate these ball shows! Flip over to Wheel of Torture!
You are cordially invited.
Dinner is served!
Everybody dig in.
Don't mind if I do, Lillian.
To meet the family.
It's easy to see where Fiona gets her good looks from.
Make new friends.
Pray for mercy from...
In woods.
So, to let you guys know, this is one of my childhood movies growing up. It's in my top five, actually. Not even top five, top three favorite movies of all time. SpongeBob obviously being number one. This one being number three. And I'll explain a little while later on. But I actually grew up a lot watching this movie on DVD on repeat. I grew up without cable. So I had a lot of movies on DVD and stuff. Plus I had that guy on who you would stand by, get those bootleg CDs and whatnot. But Shrek 2 would always be something I would be watching constantly, when I had nothing really else to watch. And it was just really fun. And it's so fun talking about it with other people, quoting them, not even just Shrek 2, but Shrek 1 and Shrek 3 and 4. Just all the Shrek movies are really great. But this movie, in my opinion, set the standard for sequels. So what do you guys think about it?
This might be the greatest movie DreamWorks has ever made. I am a huge fan of this movie. As far as animated sequels go, this is easily my favorite animated sequel movie of all time. It also feels like it's the ultimate anti-Disney movie, which is what early DreamWorks was so known for. And this movie, there's so much to get into.
Yeah, I totally agree. So originally I was going to choose Shrek to do for my film, but you...
The first one or the second one?
I was actually going to do the first one. But I have to agree, the second one was such a good... I think it was so great because, like you said, it was so anti-Disney.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It was funny. I was a lot older when this movie came out, so there's a lot more grown-up jokes, I feel in the sequel than there is the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And Shrek hits every single time. I mean, it just slaps. I could legit watch it again as an adult and still crack up every single time. And I mean, it's been a Shrek, and then even the spin-offs such as Puss in Boots and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the newest Puss in Boots movie. Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
Right? I went and saw that in theaters with my kids, and they thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. Shrek just hits every single time. I mean, It's a banger.
Let me ask you guys this though: what's your favorite part in the movie? What is your favorite either joke or part in this entire movie?
I'm a big fan of once they get to the king. Well, first of all, I mean everything up until they get to the kingdom is one thing, but also when they get there and it's the awkward moment of they're all realizing they're ogres in that crowd. The bird flies and breaks his neck on the wall, falls at the king's feet, and then John Cleese is the king. I mean the dialogue between they're going on between those two as they walk in, and then that really amazing dinner scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where you can cut the tension with a knife in that room. Oh my gosh, it's some of my favorite dialogue in any animated movie.
I honestly have to say my favorite scene in that whole movie is when the fairy godmother pulls up and she pulls up in the little pumpkin wagon and they pull up to the drive-thru.
That's what I was thinking at the same time too. I was thinking about that.
One medieval meal.
That is such a funny scene though. And honestly, she can't be that much of a villain if she's offering you to get you food.
No, see, that's what. Listen, that part right there, hands down, best part in the film. I thought it was hilarious. Overall, the film was just a great film.
The amount of Hollywood movie references in this that you may not pick up on when you're a kid.
See, I have two favorite parts in this film.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that part, it made me think about that.
Yeah.
The cop scene, the cop scene.
Oh, yes.
That is hilarious.
When they're and he got the catnip
That's
for
so-
the
Yeah,
That
got
sounds
catnip.
like
That's not mine. I'm holding it for a friend.
and you got the pig and the mice and they're all watching and
See, it's that scene, and then it's I Need a Hero.
Oh.
I Need a Hero is the
yes.
best. Okay, you cannot think of that song without thinking of this movie at all. I
Yep.
don't know who could.
Oh,
Maybe
I
people
can't.
older than us. I don't know. But you cannot really think about I Need a Hero. You can't really think of that song without thinking about Shrek 2.
That's the first thing
and the
that
whole,
I think of every time I hear that song. And then what's that song? Take
Actually-
Me Down to when
Oh,
they're going
Funky
into
Town?
Oh,
Funky
yeah.
Town. Yeah.
That's true.
Burn, 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 burn,
And
burn.
that's another thing too.
Yeah.
The songs in this movie are freaking
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah.
It
They
started
definitely-
with Accidentally in Love too.
Oh,
It's like the
yes.
perfect song to recap that first movie.
Like I talked about this before the episode started. It's about to be the 20th anniversary of Shrek 2, and so they're playing it in theaters again. I am watching this more than once in theaters. I'm watching it so many times as I can.
Oh yes.
I legit, I didn't even know that, but I'll probably take my kids to go watch it because it, like I said, Shrek hits every single time. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's just overall a good movie. Like you said, there's a lot of adult references.
Oh, yeah.
And even just in when they're coming into the town, like the posters, and they got the Hollywood, theme going on, and it's a good movie. I liked it.
And the thing, I like that too. I love a lot of people say this is anti-Disney, and I agree. This movie is anti-Disney.
Yeah.
But the thing is also, it's its own thing. It doesn't really focus
It
too much on
is,
being
it
anti-Disney,
is,
and I
yeah.
love that.
It's
a lot of people-
subtle with its anti-Disney.
It is. It's really subtle with it, and it doesn't even care too much, even if it is or isn't really anti-Disney. I love that it's doing its own thing.
Yeah, and I think what I enjoyed most about, so I loved Shrek 1. I absolutely loved it. When it came out, I thought it was hilarious. It was definitely not like any other animated film that I had seen. Like, it definitely was not on par with any, because I had only just really got into Disney, and I only really watched Disney. You're talking about Snow White and all stuff like that, Toy Story, Lion King. So you see this movie, and it just hit different. DreamWorks, I think, like you said, is probably one of their best selections of movies that they've come out with. And I absolutely enjoyed it, younger and now that I'm older. It definitely, I feel like, was a game changer in what animated kids films can look like. I also think that it definitely hit that line of inappropriate, but not inappropriate enough that your kids can't watch. You know what I mean? So I enjoy it.
I like that. I'm gonna keep that in mind for the end of this episode because I have something I really want to say at the end of this episode. But going off on that, I realized something when I was thinking about this episode. This is one of the most popular DreamWorks franchise movies that didn't get a TV show, and I'm so glad it didn't.
Oh, 100% agree.
Because not saying that the DreamWorks TV shows are bad, except for Megamind. Not saying that they're bad. It's just the shows kind of ruined the specialty almost of the movies to an extent. Some of them were really good, like the Kung Fu Panda one, How to Train Your Dragon, and even Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh, yeah,
Such a
Penguins
good
of
show.
Penguins was great.
But I'm so glad Shrek didn't get a show. Or I like that it just got
Puss in Boots or somebody.
No, Puss in Boots got Netflix shows.
Yeah.
No, I'm so glad
about
Shrek didn't get a show. Only because I feel like the love for it would have given it something kind of icky to talk about, almost per se. I'm not saying
they
that the
did
shows
have
are bad.
that play that.
The play was amazing. You cannot say the play was bad.
It
You
wasn't
cannot
bad,
say the play was
but
bad.
it was kind of.
I've never seen the play.
The
it's
play
on
is
Netflix.
really good. It's
Yeah,
on Netflix.
yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The songs are really catchy.
Yeah.
It's only covering the first movie though.
Oh yeah.
But Really, it's the fact that like I love that this is and this goes for all DreamWorks movies in general. There is no such thing as a bad DreamWorks sequel. Yes, there are some that you don't really care as much about, but there's no such thing as a bad
Dragon
DreamWorks
2
sequel.
Yeah.
and stuff,
So
yeah.
like I felt like with DreamWorks, like Kung Fu Panda, I think hits good, and the sequel does.
Kung Fu
and,
Panda 2 the
Yeah.
villain is amazing.
And sometimes I feel like with DreamWorks, their sequels are sometimes better than their actual first ones.
That's what I was
Oh,
thinking as
yeah,
well.
Like because Puss in Boots, great first film, but the second one,
amazing.
gosh.
amazing. How to Train Your Dragon, great first film. The second one, I thought was better than the first one. And then of course with Kung Fu Panda, that one, the second one I felt was way better.
The second one got beat in the box office by The Hangover Part 2. And I was kind of irritated about that, but I'm glad it got a third movie because it was just the same thing over again for Hangover.
Because there's a new Kung Fu Panda coming out soon, right?
Yo, it already came out. This one, not that great, but not terrible. I'd watch it. I think it needs to be like a 30-minute special, but I mean, it's still kind of good. I mean, I'd watch it. Not pay for it again, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, but with all that said, with all this praising it, I want to hear your thoughts about what would you guys rate it?
I'd rate this a 10. And
10?
I do not give 10s out often. This to me is a perfect sequel.
You know what? I'm here for it because I was gonna pick Shrek originally, so I'm here for it. I'm giving it a straight 10. 10
See?
all day long. Rashawn?
I'm not like you guys. I'm not going to give it a 10.
Really? You picked the movie?
Hold on. I'm not going to give it a 10. I love this movie. I love it with all my heart. So I'm giving it a 15. It is more than a 10 out of 10. I am
So
showing this
extra.
to everyone that I know. If you have never seen Shrek, any of the Shrek movies in your life, we're starting with Shrek 1, Shrek 2. I might show you Shrek 3 if you really want to, but Shrek 1 and 2 are what you're really going to watch. And so, yeah.
And maybe Shrek.
This
4
movie's
too.
a 15 out of everything. 15 out of 15 for me. There's going beyond 10 for me. But we're gonna close that up. And Mo, let's go on to yours.
All right. The movie I chose was the Toy Story movie, and it came out in 1995, and it stars Tim Allen, Tom Hanks, and Jim Varney. Let's watch the trailer.
It's a big one.
Walt Disney Pictures presents
Star Command, come in. Do you read me?
the story of two toys
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Hello?
headed for a showdown.
My name is Woody. This is my spot.
I am Buzz Lightyear. I come in peace.
You are a child's plaything.
You are a sad, strange little man.
And playing by their own rules.
Draw. Fuck me, I guess.
All right. So we went ahead and I picked Toy Story. So, I mean, I feel like Toy Story has a large cult following. It's a great Disney movie. So this movie came out in 1995. I was 6 years old when this movie came out. You guys were...
I was not even born yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
well,
even think I was conceived,
well,
but yeah.
Listen, I remember going to watch this movie, and I thought it was the bee's knees. It was the coolest movie ever. It was so cute. I remember going and sneaking in my room, literally the day after, sneaking in my room to try to catch my toys, moving. They did not. In fact, I was very disappointed to come to find out they are alive. But I picked this movie just because, so my youngest son, he's autistic and nonverbal, but he really draws to movies and shows, and Toy Story is his go-to movie. Like that is, if he's been a good kid, I'm gonna put on Toy Story for him because it gets him like all hyped up and stuff.
Aww.
And he loves it. He loves it, and I just thought it was really cool that I remember being his age. You know, he's 5 now, and I remember being his age and watching this movie and just thinking it was the coolest thing in the world. Tim Allen, Tom Hanks. I mean, you got Buzz Lightyear, Woody. I remember having all the toys. I had an actual Buzz Lightyear that had Andy on the bottom, and we had a Woody. I dressed up as Little Bo Peep for Halloween. I mean, I love Toy Story. I love all the movies that came with it. Toy Story, I believe 3 is the one with the bear.
Yes.
Yes.
That one probably is my least favorite.
Really?
Yes, I cried.
Oh.
Listen,
That's your least favorite.
least favorite.
Ooh.
Yes.
Not Toy Story 4.
Nope.
Not, okay.
Yeah.
Because
not
I
Toy
think
Story
Forky is
4.
hilarious on Toy Story 4.
Okay.
Yeah, Forky's funny.
He
I'm
is.
trash.
I'll give
you know?
Forky is
I will
funny.
say he's not that funny.
Yeah, I thought he was hilarious. And then Toy Story 2, I mean, it just hits. I felt like Toy Story 2 really hit with the
Toy
sequel.
Story 2 is a really, really good sequel.
Do you know what? We should have did sequels. We should have did a show about sequels. That would have been amazing.
No,
But-
because then we couldn't talk about Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. But I think Lilo and Stitch had a sequel.
Lilo and Stitch
That
got a lot of
doesn't count.
sequels.
Okay.
But to
Well,
go back to
they're
Toy Story
good.
real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Toy Story.
The thing, I saw this movie a lot when growing up, along with like as sequels were coming out and stuff like that. I don't care for it as much. Like it's a good movie,
See,
but
that
it's
was
not
me.
great. Like it's not, in my opinion, Toy Story 3 is the best Toy Story
No,
movie.
absolutely. First off, that bear is a jerk. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
jerk. He got abandoned, but
yeah.
that doesn't
I
like
mean,
forgive him
but
for
just
what he
because
did.
you were
Yeah.
abandoned doesn't mean you have to be a total douchebag. Okay. Can I say that
But
also?
there's also it's also like
I
you
don't know.
understand-
I'm waiting for our director to let me know if we got to bleep that word out.
Well,
But
we'll fix it in post. But either way,
Put it in,
I
yeah.
understood where Lots-a-Lot was coming. That was his name. Lots-a-Lot was coming from. I understood where the guy was coming from, and honestly,
Lotso, yeah.
yeah, I understood where he was coming from. That did not excuse for what he did. But however, he was more of a fascinating villain, quote unquote, than Sid was. Sid was a jerk.
Oh,
You want to talk
yeah.
about jerky
No,
villain?
no. I thought Lotso was worse than Sid though.
No, lots
Because-
of
At
Ripping
the
your
end of the
toys
day-
apart, I would say, is a lot
Listen,
worse than
at the
being
end
a
of the day,
dictator.
Sid was freaked out. They had came up with a great plan. I mean,
Was it a great plan? That's my question with this movie. The end plan is where I lose it a little
no.
bit.
I
Absolutely.
like the chasing to get to
I
the
like the
car.
chase
I
to
love
the
that.
car.
The end plan, I was okay with. I mean, yeah,
We're
I
just gonna
did. I can kind of.
traumatize this kid though.
You know,
Yeah.
but I think I don't know with this
What
movie.
happened? Couldn't they have talked to the toys, like to the humans at one
See,
point
here's the thing about
before
that.
Yeah, see,
Like,
no,
there's
they
a
could.
thing that there's two things that actually make a great point about this. One, Pixar theory about why the toys don't talk to people. If you don't know what the Pixar theory is, Google it. Watch look up Super Carlton Brothers YouTube video or game theory, really, not game theory, film theory. Watch the video on that. It's a really interesting theory and a fun video to watch.
Well, give us a
Okay.
breakdown of the theory.
All it is saying that all of the Disney Pixar movies like Monsters Inc., Brave, Toy Story, WALL-E, they're all connected in one massive timeline.
Yes.
Yeah.
So which I mean, because if you think about it, you think about Pixar and all their Easter eggs that they put in all of their films.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Toy Story really was the mark for that. I feel like before that, I don't think that they really had anything that
No,
was.
This is their first movie. It's
yeah.
this Toy
Well, yeah,
Story.
it was Pixar's first movie, and honestly, their first. It was actually Disney's first, not 3D. Well, actually, yeah, 3D animated movie where it's
Yeah.
like CGI. Sorry, first
CGI,
CGI
yeah.
movie. Sorry, trying to find the right words for it. But it was their first CGI movie, which honestly, even though it's a little dated, it still looks amazing.
Oh,
Right.
that's one thing I really wanted to mention about this. For 1995 animation, this is incredible.
Yeah, and I love the landscape of how much it changed so much. Like you can go back to it and still notice small details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like even still, it's very iconic with that style, whatnot. And I actually enjoy the music in this a lot too. The classic "You Got a Friend in Me" and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the what I was trying to get with earlier is that there's another video that's a little darker. It's a Meat Canyon video.
Oh, yeah.
Where Andy is like breaking his toys, forcing them to talk to me because he saw Woody and Buzz playing with Sid. But he basically, when the toys reveal that they are alive to someone, that person immediately gets cancer. And so Sid died from cancer.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, to end on that dark note, I'm going to go ahead and give it my rating.
Okay.
In my opinion, this movie, I'm thinking it's more of a franchise movie and separately as a movie itself. So I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. But I would rewatch it. I rewatch it every now and then. I just don't think it's really great.
See,
Yeah.
I have to give it a solid 10. I feel like for Pixar coming out with this movie, They're doing another movie. It's been confirmed that
Toy Story 5.
Toy Story 5.
Which I don't think they need to do another one.
No. They're lucky they got away with 4.
Yeah. I don't think they've overstayed their welcome. I'm kind of excited to see where this goes. Woody, you got to think Andy's grown up. Now all the kids are grown up. They're going to move on to something new. So I'm excited to see what happens. I'm going to rate this a 10.
10.
I'm going to give this a 7. It's the 3rd best Toy Story movie, but...
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
I would say this is the 3rd best.
Okay. Well, we'll go to Hugh's movie.
Speaking of best, we're going to talk about the greatest Disney movie of all time, Lilo and Stitch from 2002. The movie stars Davey Chase, Chris Sanders, and Tia Carrere.
Let's watch the trailer.
Let's watch that trailer.
His name is Stitch.
Great, he's loose.
He's taken a police cruiser.
He took the red one.
That crazy trog is about to make us jump. Where is he?
A place called Hawaii.
Oh.
Are there any aminals in here?
Ow.
Wow.
2 worlds will collide. And paradise will never be the same.
All of our dogs are adoptable.
Hi. If you can't tell, I am obsessed with this movie. With a live-action Lilo and Stitch currently being developed, I'm going to be there to judge it harshly. What are your thoughts on Disney's modern live-action reboots of these movies?
Oh.
That's a tough question to put in when we're talking about a great masterpiece like this.
I thought Lion King was done well. I thought Lion King was done well.
Oh, get out.
Listen.
I know, I've seen Planet Earth before, too. It looked...
Okay. What other live action films do they have?
Beauty and the Beast.
Pete's
Mulan.
Dragon.
Oh, wait. Beauty and the Beast was good.
I'll give it. That one was decent.
Yes, that one was good.
Aladdin.
Aladdin I liked better than Beauty and the Beast. I did actually.
I didn't think Aladdin was that great, to be honest.
Hold on. There was also
Jungle Book. That one was alright.
You know what? Jungle Book was okay.
That was alright.
It's a hit and miss when you go live action.
Mulan
I just feel
might be the worst thing.
Which one?
Mulan might be the worst thing.
Yes, I was not a fan of Mulan. Just because I expected to have Mushu and
you expected old Disney.
Yeah.
No.
And then
sweet
they
child.
came out with this, and I fell asleep like twice trying to watch it. I was like, what the heck is this?
Also, let's not forget the actual first Disney live action reboot, which is
It was Beauty and the Beast, wasn't it?
Nope, it was Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
you know what though? Yeah. That wasn't bad though.
That movie sucked. That movie was awful. That movie was not even an actual movie. That movie was a sequel apparently, because it's her coming back to Wonderland.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Alice in Wonderland though.
See, we're talking about old and new Disney, though. This is why this movie is a very important movie in Disney history, because Disney, of course, they did their originals way back in the day. Then the 70s and 80s, they kind of fell off the map. Then in the 80s, they came out with Little Mermaid, and then they had their Renaissance era in the 90s with Hercules.
Which I like their Renaissance in 90s era, because without their movies failing, we wouldn't have gotten the Renaissance. We would never have gotten Lilo and Stitch.
We never would have gotten this. So that's exactly what I wanted to bring up. The 2000s were a very, very rough decade for Disney. They tried so many different things, and we ended up
at least film-wise.
Film-wise,
yeah. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but like at least film-wise, TV show-wise, I remember growing up-wise, I used to love watching Lilo and Stitch, the TV show, was like Phineas and Ferb was.
Yeah, it was.
Where it was all over. It was like the staple of the thing. Where like there were so many crossovers with that show.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow. And it got so many sequels too. Well, I think it had like two or three more sequels.
Yeah.
I remember Stitch got a glitch.
Yeah, Stitch the movie, Stitch got a glitch.
Leroy and Stitch, which Leroy and Stitch was actually served as a finale for the show, which I really loved. I loved watching the show so much. And growing up, just I still got the theme song stuck in my head even now.
Yeah, but with Lilo and Stitch too, like the way that it came out, where they had him in the trailers of Disney movies, and people hating it, and then you go and you watch this movie, and the first 10 minutes of this movie is so intense, fast. It is everything that no Disney movie really was before this. Wasn't techie, you're in an alien spaceship, then a big judicial process, and all of a sudden then he's getting arrested, Jumba's thrown in prison, and it's like now the breakout, and then he's hyper driving next to everybody, shuts down the whole Imperial fleet. But like you start with that and then jump into the Hawaiian.
So I'm not gonna lie, that part of the movie I usually skip past because it's boring. I don't like it, so I go straight into when they're in the water.
You don't like the beginning.
I don't like the beginning. No, I go straight to when they start singing the song and boom. That's probably. I just want to talk about the music in here. The music,
that's solid.
Music, yeah.
The music is probably the best part. The movie overall is great, but the music is probably my favorite part. I think they just had great songs. I think this wasn't Lilo wasn't your average kid.
No.
And she really just kind of because all kids are not the same, but for Disney you have these characters that kind of are all the same, And
See, Lilo is one of those like rare Disney children that like are so iconic. There's her, and then there's what's the daughter's name? What's Darkwing's daughter's name in the two? It's something. I want to say Gaz something with a G. But like her and Lilo, and then there's also Huey, Dewey, and Louie from DuckTales.
Oh yeah,
her and DuckTales. They are so iconic and so like. I want to hang out with this kid. I like this kid so much.
Yeah, and I think that's what I liked so much about this movie is that, and then I mean even just when she's going like to her dance practice and she's not like the other girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember being young and just
sandwich day.
Yeah.
I'm quirky. I'm not like other girls.
Right.
Soda.
So
it's fish.
I just really I really felt like this movie really was just groundbreaking and not being a princess, and still being cool.
Oh yeah.
So I really like this movie.
Also, watching it as an adult now, it is so much more emotional and heartbreaking than
that scene where they're just on the hammock, she's reading The Ugly Duckling, and they start singing.
Oh my gosh! Tell me that doesn't make you emotional.
Oh, it doesn't make me emotional, but it's still a good scene.
Yeah, it definitely.
I also really love the art, like the background art.
Yeah.
So much. Like this.
It's like a pastel kind of.
And then like you can almost like at first I thought it would be like hand brushed backgrounds almost.
Yeah.
Which you can somewhat think of that like it almost, but it's still really good. Like I honestly, it's one of those movies where like even like current day movies, like how Puss in Boots, Spider-Verse, you can pause any scene in the movie. And it can really just be a background image almost.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Like you can be your wallpaper, it can be whatever, and it's so good like that.
Also, shout out to whoever got Disney to do a movie mostly with the story of minorities and not white people in 2002.
I mean
but whoever convinced them of that.
Because after that, I mean, they really started putting out more film that wasn't so.
White based.
Based. So I mean, really, because before, I mean, you know,
it was all white.
You have Coco, you have
Prince and the Frog,
Princess and the Frog, but
stuff.
Lilo and Stitch was kind of like the first one that wasn't. That was a character of color that was the main character, really. Besides that, they just had like racist old Mickey Mouse, so.
I wouldn't say racist, but okay.
Yeah, definitely the old Disney cartoon. Yeah, definitely anti-Semitic, but Lilo and Stitch. I remember being young and watching this, and now my kids watch it. They enjoy it. They love it. They love Stitch.
I still watch it. I'm 24 years old. I watch this movie all the time.
So.
Well, before we get on to rating it, the movie, I want to take a moment, and I actually want to talk about this because this is for those who've been watching these episodes, when I talk about certain animated features, you notice that I get passionate about this because I don't know if you guys realize this in the past, like lately, a lot of like big studio executives and whatnot, and even like actors like whatnot, they treat animation like it is nothing, it is just for children. And that really ticks me off. Like even when I'm at like going to family gatherings and stuff like that, and I want to put something on TV, and my family members are like, I don't want to watch a cartoon or whatever like that. It irritates me because you're depriving yourself of an actually good story.
Oh yeah.
And I want to get this message across so much to people all the time that animation is not just for children. It is not just for one demographic. It is for everyone. It is another form of storytelling, and I want to get that across so much because I'm 21 now. I grew up a lot like watching cartoons and whatnot, and it's really just it's something that's part of me. Like I will never like even newer stuff. Like I watch She-Ra. Like I watch the new Netflix She-Ra. I watch Voltron. I watch a lot of like newer cartoons that still come out because they still have groundbreaking stories.
Yeah.
And I want people to get that across. Like, stop depriving yourself of that.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I just want to go off on that tangent a little bit.
You know what? I was a little concerned. Like maybe we need to hit the cut them. But no, I think you're right. I think animated films kind of get knocked as being for kids and. You know, to be honest, I think this animated film that he picked is a great film.
Yeah.
And let's go ahead and rate it.
This is a 100 out of a 10.
100 out of 10?
A 10.
I give it an 8 out of 10. I love it, but I don't love it as much as I love Leroy and Stitch.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and end this show, and we'll talk about it later.
But yeah, so, you know, once again, thank everybody for watching not just this episode, but all our past episodes. And make sure to stay tuned for what is our final episode of the season. So we'll see you then.